game, but so far it's looking pretty good. Let's waste no time. Jump right in. Oh crap, what was I? I don't think I was doing anything crazy. Yeah, just side quest stuff. Why did that ping though? Bro, they writing comics in this? That's funny. Alright, but there's a few things I want to get. This workbench, a hunter, get fits, new quests. hmm Ooh, that's important. So campfires are the only way to save. Well, to like manually save. There's a quick save feature and it auto saves, but this is more definite. This is where you're gonna spawn in.
Ignoring me again?
Who said that? Yeah, we gotta.
We are on the same side here, Olvund. The bristlebacks threaten us all. What do you want, Olvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree.
I should have got water.
What other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of youth.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Olfant Freeholder, at your service.
I need a gaming chair.
What could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, let's get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osseram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Osseram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osseram laborers of this land who do all the
This guy's
backbreaking
pretty
work,
annoying.
while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
If Chainscrape is on Karja land, shouldn't a Karja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osram folk, of course. You think a Karja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few screws.
So you have no real authority then? People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow
The more I
doubt
play,
that.
the more I'm interested in the
Practically
story.
founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren Light's shadow. I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to me.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, but my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these honest, working Osram.
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Osram lives.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done, this valley is gonna get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safety of these good folk.
Just be ready to blow the whistle. Better see what that Karja magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
High time you made up your mind. So let's hear it.
Don't you have somewhere better to be?
Look, I found them shards fair and square.
Now, there's one more.
I thought you'd left by now.
There's one more quest.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
Another.
Hey, Mildef. Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hold.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Oven didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals, no trouble.
Ah, man of his craft.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they liked my food. Or the ale.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients,
there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients. A few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in the scrounger pile, if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildef. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
Oh. That's a level 5 quest. Okay. Ooh, no, we're not gonna do that. How do I scroll? A level 5 and a level 7. And I'm neither. I'm not even close. I think I'm a level 2. Wait, what's this? Oh. There's so much crap in this world. Is he a merchant? Who are you? Oh, he is a merchant.
Get back. Oh, whoa! Don't work here. Hello?
I can't buy anything from him, so...
Fate brings us together yet.
Oh, that's what that question mark was. Okay, cool. What's that? I can't climb. Oh, that's the cache. That's underground? Oh.
Even the savior of Meridian needs a challenge. Ah, come to revel in some strike, sister?
What
Let
the
me set the
hell?
board.
I was just passing by.
This is a new
First
game for me to
timer,
be
huh? Don't worry
obsessed
about
over.
It. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original, straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine.
Is this
and
like
each
chess?
machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner?
Uh-huh.
That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move. how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece
This
to
is
your
like-
right, and move it forward. And remember,
This feels like
each
chess.
machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine.
Why not?
Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. You have to end your turn there, Red. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close enough to it. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage
I
to
know
my
how
machine.
math works,
Did you get all that?
but it is pretty cool.
Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just
I am going to be a
the best
beast at
terrain
this
to
game.
attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. And it would save my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. No, I've lost my fair share of pieces after night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards.
Damn, should I
I can
play?
even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I'll
Don't
come
be a
back.
stranger.
Because I want to shoot. I want to fight people. Whoa, where am I? Okay. The jump looks so weird, but okay, I can jump on top and stuff. Shoot. Shoot.
There. That should be enough wild meat for Milda.
Hey, more dummies. Is there a lock on? No.
That's no good. Can't use the polecaster on that.
I thought I did that already.
Sharp as ever.
Savior,
Oh, I have it.
over here. Savior, thank you for taking the time. And my condolences that you had to endure Ulvant's bloviating.
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the Bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is barren light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvant up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvant wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so important to him. And why blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
Ah.
How does blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks help Ulvin get his concession?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust and bad ale. Claiming that the Karja loosed the Bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the Mad Sun King. And with the Bristlebacks bringing work in the valley to a halt, Ulvant has plenty of time to pick at barely healed wounds.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren Light must continue.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvin blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvant's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. Now, I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
You said the Bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before they came charging down the hillside. He took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvant will stop blaming the Karja for every problem under the sun, and maybe then he'll actually focus on rebuilding Barren Light instead.
Cool. Alright, so we got all of our side quests. Our map should look kind of full. Oh, that's for the food. Ooh. Huh. Yeah, that's gonna suck. But stick to the story for now. How toxic is it? Can I step in it? Oh, nope, nope. Not for a while, anyway. Ah,
I've learned to override machines and cauldrons before. I wonder if there are any out here.
are they fighting? Nah, you wasn't coming over here. Chill. Okay, maybe I've overstayed my welcome. Bro, still just me? Who else is there? Oh, I see you. You guys are kind of far.
Should use shock ammo.
Oh, come on. You don't see me. Oh, maybe you do. Break line of sight, and I should be fine. I'm running right back inside, man. I ain't trying to fight all y'all. Oh, that's a city? I didn't even see it. Charger mount.
This whole area is rigged with tripwires. It's always something.
Hold tight! I'll see what I can do!
Come on, I believe in you.
Round up now.
Oh, nice. Okay. No, stop drinking the. Oh my gosh, I'm drinking all of my health potions. I'm trying to throw rocks, girl.
Fancy wirework!
That's the last one.
Hello, Red. What a day, what a day.
I'll gather these while I can.
Thank the Forge you showed up. Tripwire's handy, but machine hunting's a youngin's game. Come on over. Let me give thanks proper like. I see you're a practiced hunter. Took you less time to kill those scroungers than vanguards to kill one bristleback.
So the vanguards came through here?
Yeah, just a bit ago. Down that bristleback, headed south.
The hell is a bristleback?
Then those scroungers showed
Sure,
up to
Figure.
carve the
I'm sure I'll
carcass, as they
find out.
do.
South, after more bristlebacks?
Probably. This whole valley is swarming with them. The Vanguard seemed dead set on getting rid of them.
I see.
Hold on there, Red. If you're gonna go chasing across the Daunt, you're gonna want a tripcaster. Not just any tripcaster. One of my make. Free of charge.
Workmanship looks solid enough.
Yep. Been tweaking the design since I left Chain Scrape. More room to tinker out here and less chance of, well, accidents.
Did something happen in Chain Scrape?
More like someone.
Let me guess. Olvend.
Back when I had a place in town, he took a real interest in my wares. Kept pressing for the Ulven discount. I said no. He didn't like that so much. I can't prove it, but that chuff bucket set my workshop on fire.
Oh.
Felt it best to put some distance between us after that.
Cable car operator told me the bristlebacks just appeared yesterday. Do you know anything about them?
How is old Karn? Back in the day, me and him got into all sorts of trouble. There was this one time that...
Anything about the bristlebacks?
No. Karn said true. Just showed up and ran amok. Lucky for me, I've got you and the Vanguard swooping in time to save my backside.
I should get going. Thanks for the tripcaster.
While you're blasting bristlebacks, I think I'll head down to the hunting grounds. Did you know they have a tripcaster trial? Come by later if you want to try it out.
Maybe. After I get things under control. So Aaron headed south.
That's a really handsome
Should be able
character
to pick up
model.
his tracks with my focus.
By a person. So can I disarm these? I'll leave those up.
I'll put these in my pack.
Oh.
Tracks. Maybe Aaron's and the Vanguard's.
Why is the music like that? Who's near? Oh, come on.
It's a ruin from the old world. I could find something interesting inside. I find the cauldron. Definitely how to open this machine.
What is he? He's tweaking. Oh. Come on.
This ruin looks like it's barely holding together. There must be a way to get inside.
Mighty thankful to you, Savior.
Just Aloy is fine.
Aaron mentioned you're not one for fancy titles.
Your Vanguard.
Well, here to escort Wadis' delicate behind to the embassy.
If we can get rid of these bristlebacks.
Captain said to keep an eye on Chainscrape, then these ugly lugs showed up.
Gave the first one a good beating.
But didn't quite have time to roll out of the way when it fell.
Told you it wasn't a good idea to eat that much before heading out.
I should probably get going.
Now, if you see any more of these bristlebacks,
I'll make sure to roll out of their way.
Might want to take some of these with you as well. They're handy in a pinch.
Thanks.
Stay safe, Aloy.
Ooh, smoke bombs, yes. And I can use these underwater? It's lit.
My focus is tracing the signal back to that metal tower. Might be worth checking out.
Didn't I shoot a pig earlier?
Okay, what do we have in here? There's some kind of relic in there. But how to
St.
reach it?
Patrick's Day thing? Oh, this is just a giant puzzle.
Too close. Looks like this door needs some kind of key module. Maybe there's one in the ruin?
Where would it be? Wait. Ooh, didn't even need to zoom in. Alright, so the ruin is bigger than it looks. Okay. I see it. This looks like a really old townhouse. What am I doing? Pullcaster vents. The key modules in there. Supply box. All of that stuff is on the inside. Unless, maybe. Oh, well, duh. I'm overthinking things.
What's this data say?
Alliance, you have a red permit pass and share safety and security accommodation room, blah, 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 blah. Your permit code is cool. One 1705.
There's a code for the locked door in this data. But I still need to find a key module. Great. This should be useful.
Oh, I could just destroy it from the other side. What is that?
Okay, gotta find a key for the door.
I can't open regular doors.
Can't hook onto that.
Why not? Is that not a pull caster? There it is.
There's more of the ruin down here. Where to now?
Bro, how big is this place?
Well, I can't reach the ledge above now. Guess I'll have to find another way up.
Why have this unless it leads somewhere? It's crazy out of all the outstanding things she can do.
That right on top of me.
Ooh. Through the rubble? Through the rubble. So why bring this over here? Wait, can this go in the hole? I can't go in the hole. Bro, I'm kind of lost, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I kind of don't know what to do. I need to get there. What is that? Oh, that's dead. I solved half the puzzle. Oh, okay. Structural integrity.
It's not hooking onto that. There. A little more light down here.
I knew it the whole time.
Down it goes. I gotta get closer. this lead?
Dummy, Anthony, you dummy. Alright, come on. Am I wrong?
The key module.
Was I supposed to do that? I don't think so. But I need to end up on top. Hmm? Oh, yeah, this box was always here.
Okay, let's see if this key fits. There. Looks like this needs a code too. I think
Oh,
some of the
I
data
have to
picked up
remember
might
it?
help.
Crap. Nope. Nope. Here we go. 1705.
I'm in. What is this thing?